From the outside, Liam and I seemed like the perfect couple. After 8 years of marriage, we had built a comfortable life together, a modest yet cozy home, stable jobs, and a quiet, predictable routine. Friends often told me how lucky I was to have a husband like Liam, dependable, kind, and the very definition of a good man. But deep down, I knew something was missing. Our marriage wasn't unhappy, yet it lacked the passion it once had. There were no explosive arguments, no betrayals, no devastating moments. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness. I told myself it was normal for relationships to settle over time, but the nagging sense of dissatisfaction never faded. The connection we once shared had withered into something hollow. Conversations had become mechanical, tenderness rare, and intimacy felt like an obligation rather than a desire. One rainy afternoon, my sister, CLA, called. I had come home early from work, and as always, she had another story to tell about her boyfriend, Greg. She vented about his lack of ambition, his laziness, and his unwillingness to commit. I listened in silence, trying to find the right words. Then, out of nowhere, she asked, "How did you know Liam was the right one?" Her question caught me off guard. I hesitated. CLA let out a nervous laugh as the silence stretched between us. "Come on, don't tell me you have regrets too. I don't know what came over me. Maybe the stress of the past few months, or the need to finally say it out loud, even if just once. Sometimes, I admitted quietly, and sometimes I think I regret everything." The words tumbled out before I could stop them. Liam is a wonderful husband. He's always treated me well. But I don't know if he's the one. I've felt this way for a while. Maybe I settled because it seemed like the right thing to do. My life is stable and good. But is that enough for me to live the rest of my life? I don't feel alive anymore. CLA exhaled slowly. "That's heavy, Emma. Have you talked to Liam about this?" "I can't," I said, almost offensively. "How do you tell someone you're not sure you'd marry them again if you had the choice?" It would break him. Behind me, the floor creaked softly and my stomach dropped. "I have to go," I said quickly, hanging up the phone. My heart pounded as I turned, but the hallway was empty. I convinced myself it was just the house settling, but unease clung to me for the rest of the evening. Liam was unusually quiet that night. He avoided eye contact and didn't sit beside me on the couch like he normally would. I chalked it up to him having a rough day and decided to give him space. But as days passed, his behavior only grew more distant. He left early, came home late, and barely spoke. When I asked if something was wrong, he dismissed me with a curt, "I'm fine." Then, one evening about a week later, I came home to find Liam sitting at the kitchen table, a stack of papers in front of him. His expression was calm, but his eyes held something turbulent beneath the surface. A sense of dread curled in my stomach. "What's going on?" I asked cautiously. Without a word, he slid the papers toward me. My hands trembled as I picked them up and read the words. Divorce papers. I looked up, my voice barely a whisper. "You're divorcing me?" Liam's jaw tightened. "I heard you, Emma." His voice was quiet but firm. "Last week, on the phone with CLA. A chill ran down my spine. I wasn't supposed to come home early that day, but I did. And I stood there and listened to everything you said." His voice wavered with hurt and anger. "You think you settle for me. You think I'm holding you back." I shook my head, desperate. "Liam, no, it wasn't like that. I was just venting. I didn't mean it." His expression hardened. "You meant it." He exhaled sharply, his voice thick with emotion. "You might not have wanted me to hear it, but you meant it, and I can't stay in a marriage where I'm just a safe choice." I pleaded with him. I'd begged him to reconsider, to try therapy, to at least give us a chance to fix what was broken. But Liam had already made up his mind. "Emma," he said, his voice resolute, "you deserve to find whatever it is you're missing. And I deserve someone who loves me without hesitation." The next morning, when I went to his office to talk to him again, he was gone. No note, no explanation. He didn't return my calls or texts. Weeks later, I learned from his co-workers that he had taken a leave of absence. And just like that, Liam vanished from my life. Years have passed, yet the regret still lingers. I thought I was just venting, that my words meant nothing. But words of power, and mine had shattered the one person who truly loved me. Sometimes, in the quiet hours of the night, I wonder where he is, if he's happy, if he found someone who loves him the way he deserves to be loved. And sometimes, I wonder if losing him was the biggest mistake of my life.